Okay. So today it is really late. Now. Today in the morning I just did, my video stuff, and in the afternoon I just edit video. Spend just around 3 to 4 hours to working on a Java to coding a Java for my friends, which is from our staff school. And so I feel really excited right now that I forgot to do the 30 minutes speaking. So I'm gonna just skip it for today because I want to sleep and then get up early in tomorrow. Today I just do the 10 minutes speaking and I just cancel the listening to the English and while answering the question. I'm really sorry about that, but I have to let that because I want to save time to sleep to spend more time for my sleeping. Alright, let's start it. I beg most of you to suddenly share. It's not about what college they went into, it's about their own initiative, their own drive, their own business, their own curiosity. I can say from the era which I grew up, I don't give a cross answer you say to me. Okay? Do you only be relevant if your back is bent? On my tombstone, I want the epitaph, be a salmon to die until you have scored some victory for humanity. May people look for meaning in life. I thought it's going to be under the rock or behind the tree. Here's my meaning. You have more power than that. You have the power to create meaning in your life. You thought than passively look for it. Meaning to me is to know more about the world today than this than yesterday. An ancestor meaning for me. And accumulate and accrue daily in a month, maybe more than you did. You just did later. So you continue to grow. The first person of me worsen. We do a 5 minute, we do it great minute. Let's start it. All the things. It can alliance between people who drinkers, but do not hold power over you. This famous quote from Martin Luther King. You can only die if your back is bent. When I grew up, it was very common to hear the phrase, sick and something break my bone. What to never hurt me. I haven't heard the phrase in a long time. And I heard it is cited in elementary school. But the thing that happened over years is we came to learn a civilization that works in the harmful. Advance in mental health. But I see in life-size core, however, is people are less able to deal with recent people who are around today who were around back then, who calling your names. I can say wherever we grew up, I don't give a rise up you say to me, unless you're between me and some girls that now how to navigate in some way. It's a racist person, a sexist person, or a person with some kind of cultural bias. I want to know that possibly is you say everything that you want to say. That's still be that's who you are, that's how you're thinking. It's not what you do. Would you consider me well? Do you think whether you go around you, live over you, or do we go this way? And then come and understand, yes, long it's more effort, it's more energy. It's a level of some system different day. I can see the process you being that's not you can learn and navigate that. I think high school is to learn how to deal with difficult people or people who are nasty. You're gonna have to navigate to them. They're people who you cannot interact with. For whatever reason, and not a good be cubicle next to you, in your workplace. So I think undervaluable total social part that people are tossed into the high school experience. You just say, oh, people learn how to learn what how to deal with other people, but hey, dealing with people is now in your portfolio. In professional for guest that you have the count the as a vision statement. You have to have great. But go and try another one. Do not down again. You're still successful. Either Mr. Howell or influence or destroy in in live person. For me, what do Republic? At the plus percent of it is driven by duty, not by ambition. That's how I view it. I was cased and I ended up hosting combustion in 2014 and Dream. Carson, who is really talented, he approached me and said, "Would you consider hosting commerce?" I said, "I don't. There's a dozen people. They have me have a dozen others who jump in at this opportunity. I don't need to do this. I really don't." Then I talked about it and I said, "I will make car second when I was 17. I was applying to colleges. It was Cornell. I accepted to Cornell. I didn't know what college I wanted to go to. And the admissions officer, I wasn't totally in the common there. They forwarded me a question to him. First reaction, and he sent me a letter. Because later, an openness, it says, "I understand what you like. The sounds of I like. They do want to convince the campus you have to decide if you want to call now." He met me outside his building on Saturday. Said something really cool. His backdrop of himself was condescending to me. He said, "Put your arsenal, showing a cup." One day, I'm going to go back to New York because snow does often assemble in Osaka. And he says, "Here's my phone number. If you come back here through for snow, spend night with my family and go out tomorrow." I'm thinking, who am I? Why? I'm nobody. But I'm somebody to him. And I still make myself with more than famous as he is. And which students the way he had treated me. If we could afford this memory into this business commerce, then we have a way to justify who I am and the next host being taught to go past. I was passed in 2014, it was passed in 1975. The New York Station Future Astronomer. I still have the book. And it was as an adult scientist or a kid who never lost the curiosity. About the people who have a sitting chair, it's about what college they went into. It's about their own initiative, their own drive, their ambitions, their own curiosity. That's not taught in school. Sadly, school they view you as a still empty vessel they pour information in, test it over here, and a character you praised. You make them give more convincing speech. They become checkers and whose move and word. I don't think so. You come downstairs on last day of school, you're not singing Alice Cooper song. School's out forever. It will be a sad song. You'll be singing. Say, "Gee, I gotta go 15 months down, don't need anything." You should be sad that school's over, not happy. And so, leave school, and you say to yourself, I know how to learn. I now have a curiosity of all things I have yet to be exposed to. Maybe could become a lifelong learner. All these things that took me to the places we all think. What was about your dad? It impacted you so much that you still cry today. For me, at least words, only for wisdom, he gleaned in his life. He selflessly communicated to me either by example, but just executive statement. In high school, he was gym class. He was lining up people about other unit and it was check and field. And the gym instructor reported to my father on my line and said, "Situation, if we look at him, he does not have body type. Do Excel in check." And he says, "What? The one is going to tell me what I can do in my life." And he used that as a reason to start running. With a few years that he became world class in 1948. The Olympics are not ready to come back to us because they're really rolling from the Second World War. Instead, it was still an Olympics. It was called the GI Olympics and it was held in Hitler Stadium. So he competed in Hitler Stadium in the late 1940s, receiving medals different named Johnny Johnson. They were competing against New York Athletic Club. New York Athletic Club at the time accepted only Protestant. Still one club in the Pioneer Club, which took everybody who weren't accepted into the New York Athletic Club. Basically, pluck and choose. And his best friend, Johnny Johnson. Okay, we're coming around the back stretch. it may be quarter time coming to the final stage away. And a runner from New York Athletic will choose place behind him and Johnny Johnson overhears that runner's coach say, "Cast that nigger." And he overheard this. And so what did he say to himself? He said, "This is what a nigger that he gets in the catch." And then extended his lips to the finish line. And he said the story not with any bitter tone. It was his occasion to parlay what today may be called my aggression into a reason to excel even more than you has expected of your own abilities and talents. My expression, this impact you want to have on the world. Main impact will be people learn from me in the way that they are empowered the way I talk to them. So they think or they learn from me, or they learn or think of me. Think of their own past of understanding of how this work works. I become irrelevant. And because people said these issues because Nathan said so, then they failed. That's not how you teach someone. That is teaching them authority. I don't know that. That's not. I want to think. Of my work, yes, I am a new way to stand the war and how just run off, even look back. Because a new level of hunger had descended upon you, and methods to feed that hunger are now accessible to you. Some impact would be that others impacted and don't even remember and have something to do with it. Okay, so I think that is the end of my speaking today. And if you're really excited about this, but if you open on the other hand, if you're really excited because I have done, I have learned more. I have learned to work for my YouTube channel more than 10 hours a day, for more than 10 hours a day. So if you're really excited and I just want to sleep right now, and I'm really, really sorry that I cannot do the 30 minutes speaking and this listening skill. I'm really sorry, but I'm gonna try my best tomorrow.